Hey everybody, this is Zach with IT Career Questions, and today I have Cherokee with us from ITProTV, and she's going to answer quite a few questions for us, and I'm really excited about this. And she is going to come on with us right now, and she's going to tell us a little bit about herself and then answer a few questions. So I'm going to turn the camera over to Cherokee.
Thank you so much for having me on your show today, Zach. I'm super excited to be here. Yeah, so I'm actually in Gainesville, Florida, working as an edutainer at ITProTV, and edutainers are kind of a mix between educators and entertainers. At least the goal is to try to make learning a little less painful for you.
Awesome. And you guys definitely do make it a lot less painful. It's very enjoyable.
Cool.
So we do appreciate that. Definitely. The viewers and the consumers of that material, we appreciate that because it's very good. All right, so Cherokee, I'm going to ask you a couple questions here. And the first one is, what made you decide IT was right for you?
Okay, so Zach, I don't know if you know this, but I was heavily into financial investing as a child, and I thought I was set for the rest of my life until I did a little more research and found out that my Barbies and Beanie Babies really weren't worth anything. So, no, all kidding aside, though, I think it was rooted from within my childhood. My uncle works at Texas Instruments and would send some prototype electronic games to my sister and I when we were kids, and I just loved playing with those. In high school, I was on the yearbook staff, and we had some really great iMac G3s, if you remember those big, hunky, colorful pieces of perfection. I didn't have a computer, a personal computer at home, so that was like my way of using a computer. And those hours transferred into going to school for graphic design. I ended up working for a newspaper company. I thought it was going to be really glamorous. I definitely wasn't an Anna Wintour. I was more like just a person fixing people's computers in my office. I found people asking me, so then I thought, hey, this is pretty cool. I wanted to go a little further down that rabbit hole. So I also had a child around that time, and it was more out of the need, or it was a necessity. I didn't want to fail my child, so I saw that education or that opportunity to learn as more of an investment. So I had to put, some time and money into that so that I would be able to sustain a future for my child.
That's awesome. Awesome. Thank you. So question number 2, what degrees or certifications do you hold for IT?
I actually took this certification path, and starting with CompTIA, I have a few of CompTIA certifications, A+, Net+, and I'm trying to stack them. I'm coming up for a renewal to keep the other ones relevant. I think I have an A+ that I was grandfathered in with, but then the other one is obtaining those CEUs, just like the Net+, so I got to keep those rolling along. CTT+ also for CompTIA. When it comes to Microsoft certifications, my MCSA in Server 2012 was really the segue, which enabled me to have my MCP and my MCT. And I recently got my MCSE in Server 2016 for the cloud platform infrastructure there. I have a few MTAs for Microsoft as well. And also, I have a Six Sigma Green Belt certification, which was really fun to go ahead and get that.
That's awesome. So you should probably change your name to like Cherokee Boss, right? Because like you're just like in charge over there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a lot of certs.
Not as many.
Sorry.
I'll tell you, I don't even know how many Adam has, but I don't know. It's like 180 or so. It's some ridiculous number.
Gosh.
Yeah, I know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I can't hold a flame
like last
to
year
him
sometime, right?
Yeah, but he has years of experience.
Yeah. But as far as like an edutainer, he's a recent add to IT. But he was like a guest often, right?
Right. So he's recently full-time committed to ITProTV. Before, he was working more on a contractual basis.
That's awesome. Yeah, he's really good. But yeah, that's a lot of certs.
I know.
That's crazy.
I'd hate to see like him when I grow
Outlook
up.
sig. Yeah, there you go. Does he list them all in like his Outlook sig? Like,
No,
have,
no,
you
no.
know?
He's actually really
get out of
a
hand.
humble person. He's a great person, actually. Yeah. He's not going to tell you about all of his certifications. I mean, if you asked him, maybe, but he just won't go around talking about it.
You guys should have to sit there for like 10 minutes, like
Yeah.
listening.
He probably
Right.
doesn't even know all of them because there's just too many.
I remember when I came down there last year, last May, I came down there to do a visit, and he was there. And I remember he didn't have his shoes on when he was doing his stuff. And I thought that was the funniest thing. And I was with, I think I was with Brandon, one of the, like the sales guys or whatever, and they were walking me around, and I was like, why doesn't he have shoes on? That's
Yeah,
the funniest
so-
thing. That was just what I remember from Adam and being there and seeing him.
I came across an article and it was like, hey, your socks can provide insight into how you perceive the world. You know how there's like all this clickbait online. And I just was thinking about that for a moment. And I said, man, every single pair of my socks are black. I don't know what that says about me. So Adam inspired me. Actually, yesterday I wore a pair of pink socks with eggs and bacon on them just to try to like, channel that energy.
Did it work?
Well, I'm here with you now, aren't I? So.
All right, perfect. Great answer. But you didn't have your shoes on, right? You just walked around with your socks and did your
I kept my
whole
shoes
bit,
on.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well then, it's not the same. It's not the same. But that is unique. So
Yeah.
that's cool though. So question number 3: what experience do you have working in IT other than working at ITProTV and then at the newspaper place?
Okay, so I started as a traveling computer and network technician. So that was interesting. I definitely got a lot of varied experiences there.
Yeah.
After that, I was able to work as a network administrator for a printed circuit board manufacturing company, which was really fun because I had the opportunity to. They were acquiring new locations, so I had to design and implement a network from the ground up, and it was like fresh and clean, and yeah, so that doesn't always happen. So that was a lot of fun. I'm trying to think. Oh, and then I started working as an instructor at a computer school previously, so then I transitioned into ITProTV from there.
That's awesome. Good deal. What, aside from ITProTV, which I'm sure is your favorite job of all time, because I know it would be my favorite job of all time, what was your other like favorite thing to do? Like favorite job?
So
Uh-oh.
yeah, when I was in high school, my best friend and I were lifeguards, and so we were actually in charge of watching this one lake, which was closed. So our goal for the summer was just to make sure no one swam in the lake. So we basically read magazines and painted our toenails and stuff all day. So
Oh, well,
I mean, yeah,
that's a pretty sweet gig.
Yeah.
You can't beat that.
no,
I mean, I guess that would kind of be just as cool as ITProTV, but
just hanging out with your
Yeah.
best friend every day, laying in the sun. I probably have cancer
was-
now, but yeah.
and that was probably in the days before you had smartphones, so
Yeah, I was.
you had to
Yeah.
have magazines. Yeah.
I know I don't even look like a Floridian now. Like I never even see the sunlight. So big changes in life.
That's,
Good times.
That's like natural Floridians, I feel like. You would never know because they spend all day inside.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know. I noticed that. I would never go outside if I lived in Florida, but that's just me. I don't know.
Don't you live in Florida?
No, my mom lives in Florida.
Oh, okay.
She lives down near Orlando. So when I came down to visit her, and that's how I ended up
I
visiting you
see.
guys.
Okay.
So I was like, I contacted Phil, and I was like, hey, I'm going to be in Florida. Can I come see the studio? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh, thank God. I was so excited that day. I was so pumped up. You had no idea.
I know.
This is gonna be
I'm
the coolest
excited
thing
every
ever.
day. I like come in and I'm like, hey, I get to work here. And I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this yet, but we're getting a robot, and that's just going to make it like even more exciting.
A robot.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, you guys already had cool stuff because you have like a coffee shop that's like right there in the building. Every time like I check on Facebook and I see something different, I'm like, oh, that is so cool. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to like you know, not that I'm part of it, but like be semi a part of it, you know, like at least
Yeah,
be in contact with, you know,
it rubs off on you. It
ITProTV.
really does. The
Yeah.
excitement to see like ideas going from. So I don't know if you knew this, but when I was working at that other computer school, Tim used to own that one, and we were all in the old building together. And I was still with that company. So I could see the fun and exciting things that they were doing, and just like from the beginning as that startup and seeing it grow, it's crazy.
No, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys are just like one big family, and that's
Yeah.
cool. And you could see that in the atmosphere too there. You know, like outside of recording, outside of you guys like being your edutainers and stuff, and doing all these like great videos and stuff like that. Like you guys are like a family, and you just
We
see
really
that,
are,
and it's
and
really
I think
cool.
that's probably it's probably one of the things I think, and I'm speaking just like for myself. I'm not saying anyone specifically, but I think a lot of that might be a concern, like growing so quickly. We don't want to lose that. So we've actually been spending a lot of time together to try to maintain that culture. So that's something we want to preserve and not lose as we grow.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a good thing to try to do. You know, and I can't tell you how awesome it was to be there though, and just to see that culture, that atmosphere there, and how everybody just interacted, and it was just really cool to see that.
I'm definitely lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, I was totally jealous. So, let's see where we're at. All right, here's a good one, and this is a question I really love asking everybody who I do interviews with. If you were going to give someone advice who wants to work in IT, what advice would you give them?
So if you were going to give someone IT or advice about working in IT, I would say just be prepared to keep learning. I'm sure you already know, or you soon will find out, that it is just an evolution of technology. So you have to stay relevant, and by continuing your education, that's how that's going to happen. Just persevere, and remember that if it were easy, everybody would be doing it, because we all face challenges, and sometimes it can be annoying and you might want to bang your head on the wall, but it'll be another day tomorrow, and you just got to kind of remember that and just keep going, chugging along.
Awesome. It's perfect. Question 5. I always talk about passion and IT being like intertwined. What, if any, passion do you have towards IT, and why, if any reason, would that be important?
So I definitely have passion for IT. I told you from a young age, I was always intrigued by electronics, and just really, I guess, the curiosity of how things work, why they work. I think with anything in life, regardless if it's a career, a relationship, a city in which you live, if you're not happy, if you're not passionate about it, then you're wasting your time. So you got to love what you do, or it's going to be miserable for you.
Yeah. Now, I want to add to this a little bit,
Okay.
if I can, because people kind of like to not necessarily argue with the passion thing, but a lot with the IT Career Questions channel, they want to get in IT, right? And I say, well, be passionate about something, be passionate about IT, or be passionate about whatever you want to get into. And they're like, well, it's a career. It's just a career. And at that point in their life, when they're looking in which way they want to go, they kind of have a choice. They're at that point where they're making a choice in which way, they want to go with their lives. So, would you kind of agree that people have a choice with their lives at an early age to go one way or another? Or do you feel sometimes, working in IT, that's not something for everybody. And
no, it's not for everyone. And I know, okay, so I do believe there are paths in life, and I do believe there are situations like serendipity. Honestly, I feel like I was a product of serendipity at times, just being in the right place at the right time. But also, you have to want to be at the right place at the right time, because if you're putting yourself out there, you're networking, you're getting with like-minded individuals that have the same interests with you, and that's where the passion comes in. Because if I weren't working at ITProTV, I would be working somewhere else in IT, and that's because that's what I like doing. And if I didn't have a job, if I was unemployed, I would probably be playing on my computer somewhere at home or whatever. So there are other paths of least resistance, especially I think for women. Sometimes it's easier to advance in other fields, but just because there's less resistance in other fields, it might not always be the right path for you. You might need to just kind of stick it out. But it really comes down to being happy. And if you're not happy, if you're in it for the wrong reasons, let's say the money is what's really motivating you. If you understand your motivating factors and you're okay with that, then that's fine. But I feel like eventually people will burn out if they don't have genuine passion.
Awesome. That's perfect. Thank you. All right, so question number 6, and I get asked this question very often about women working in IT, and I've worked with a lot of women in IT. Every single job that I've actually worked in IT, I've worked with a lot of women, which has been great. But touring the ITProTV studios last year, I saw a lot of women working there, which is also, really awesome. Has that always been the case that you've experienced, working in IT?
My personal experience is a little bit different. I've kind of been a lone wolf when it comes to being the female in the group. But like you said, I really am lucky to be part of a progressive team here at ITProTV. I just wish more companies maybe would embrace, wouldn't it be so cool if we had like an identity-less interview process? Or, we're chatting all the time, and, maybe like just have it in a way where people are hired on performance, not so much other factors. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I agree. One of my managers at the job that I worked at for school district, she was, a woman, obviously, and it was great, and like everybody completely respected her, and it was fantastic. And it's to me, I guess, I'm at a different age than a lot of people. I think it's perceived differently at different ages, I guess.
Oh, for sure.
But I'm at an age where it's like I don't care, It's like I don't, you know what I mean? I don't mean that in a bad way or offensively in any way. It's like I just don't care. It's like, great. This is great. Like, yes, let's work. Let's do whatever we need to do. And you have great ideas, and let's go with your ideas. Let's do whatever we have to do. Like, it's just it's 2018. Like,
right?
What does it matter?
Yeah, it shouldn't matter. So, unfortunately, I think that nationally we still have a long way to go with some things. But I think also starting, like you said, at the age differences and starting at a younger age, and just I think focusing on children and explaining your ideals to them. We can't fix generations worth of problems without like looking at the root cause and then working from there.
Right. It makes me very thankful that I have 2 girls and a boy, because then I get to kind of like wrap it all that up and kind of like teaching them, It
is really cool.
Here's what you guys.
And it's a lot of pressure too. It's like, I hope I don't mess this up.
Yeah, I think every parent feels that way though,
Yeah.
I mean, we'll be all right. We'll get it. We'll do it, It'll be fine. So this is question number 7 is probably one of the biggest questions I think on here, because I get asked this, and it's hard for me to answer this question, but people come to my channel because they want to work in IT. But what would you tell other women who want to work in IT, but might be unsure because of culture, because of stigma, because of whatever the reason might be? What would you say to them?
I would say to anyone facing any kind of stigmas or judgments, low self-confidence, or even like imposter syndrome, I would encourage you to try to find the silver lining. And so what you can do, it's hard to figure out, but if you can figure this out, you're going to be golden. If you can extract those thoughts and feelings, maybe even if they're negative, and kind of manipulate them into fuel to power you and to motivate you to make it through those long nights, those extra hours studying or whatever, because you might feel like, hey, I'm not as good as so-and-so or this type of person or whatever. And it gives you a little bit more motivation to be that good or even better. So once you've put that time in, though, this is the kicker. You have to force yourself to remember all those extra hours and the effort that you put forth, and you have to give yourself credit for that. And I think that's the biggest problem, is people just don't value their self-worth.
Right. Awesome. Thank you. All right. Question 8. What, if any, challenges have you overcome being a woman working in the IT field? Have you had any bad experiences or come toe-to-toe with somebody and, anything like that?
I haven't had any direct experience like that. No, I just think over the years, I've really had to develop a thick skin and not worry so much about what people said about me or what I said, like in a show. Was that stupid? Did I say something crazy? And then like dwell on it. So just not dwelling on things, and I wouldn't say I've 100% overcame that, because sometimes I do have kind of like a weight on my shoulders where I feel like in some way I am representing women. So I don't want to I let them down in any way, I guess. But that's just something you have, again, another internal struggle. And, it might not even just be a women's issue. It could be anyone just overthinking things.
What's your favorite flavor in IT? Like Cisco or being like sysadmin type duties or programming? What if you could pick, like if you had to pick one thing that you were going to do, like if you didn't work at ITProTV anymore, mm-hmm. and you weren't going to be an edutainer and you weren't going to be an educator, right? And you had to get like I don't mean this in any way, but like offensive way, but a real job, because like IT Pro is just like, that's just like a dream job. Okay. It's a dream job. I'm not going to lie. It's a dream job. But if you had to go work like a real job, like cool, what would you do?
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. Like I said, I love network and network security. I am Microsoft centric, so I would definitely say probably Server 2012 or 2016 sysadmin or network admin.
Awesome.
Yeah, if I find more time though, I'd love to go further into cryptography, but that requires math skills and effort.
Yeah.
Extra effort.
Yeah, I can't math, so if there's math involved, I'm like, I'm out. Like, is there a calculator handy?
Right.
Terrible. That's perfect. All right, question number 10. This is just, kind of random stuff. But if you can go back in time and change anything about your career, would you? What? Why?
Again,
it could be nothing.
I don't have any like major event. It would be really cool to go back in time and, put things in my favor, lottery tickets or bets or something like that. But no, I would probably just encourage myself, like I was emphasizing before, just to have more confidence. I think that would be it.
Awesome. That's a great answer too. I wish I could do that and go back in time and do that same thing. It would greatly help. What is your favorite part about working at ITProTV?
Hands down, it's the transference of knowledge. And I love being able to help people enhance their lives, to be able to provide for their families like I was able to do for mine. But on the flip side of that, in a little selfish way, I really love the knowledge that I obtain from just my coworkers and my peers and just being around amazing, phenomenal people. That motivation and that eagerness to learn, it keeps you going. So definitely the knowledge transfer, full circle.
Awesome. And then the last question is, this is what I ask like everybody, do you have any questions for me?
Yes.
Like, if you're going to put me on the spot.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm the interviewer here. So Zach, from social media, I see that you've made some pretty bold decisions lately and you've decided to go full time for your YouTube channel. And I was actually thinking, why? Was there a specific event that maybe triggered you into helping or initiating, assisting others in this process? Or how did you get started?
In the YouTube
Yes.
portion of it? It's like, I guess it's kind of like a long story, so I don't want to take up a lot of time, but it really all kind of started like randomly with the helping kind of thing. I mean, I've always loved helping people. It's always been a passion of mine, is helping people. It's just my nature, I guess. I put others before myself, always. But I originally started the YouTube channel to do like really simple computer fixes and things like that. And then this one day I did like a video like, I'm going to talk about like what are some things people should know if they want to get into IT. Just completely random, recorded it in my car of all things while I was driving.
What? That's dangerous.
Yeah, that's what everybody said too. But I wasn't looking at the phone. It was fine. It was no big deal.
Okay.
But it got a lot of traction and I got a lot of questions. I was like, oh, this is cool. Like I got something here. And then I started doing it and it just like spiraled from there. Like I just started doing more videos about like being in IT and how you get in IT and like I love that. Like I was like, oh, like I wanna help people with this. Like I know how to do this. I know how to get in IT. I know I've been here. I've worked in IT for 15 years. Like I want to help you. Like I'm gonna do this.
It's definitely a great feeling. I mean, I never pictured myself as a teacher or instructor in any capacity, but once you start seeing that impact on people, that's when it's all worth it.
Oh yeah. Some of the comments that I get are like, I mean, that makes it worth it. It's weight right there. Just getting those comments, like you've helped me so much. You've changed my life, or
Aww.
just stuff like that. It's just like, wow, like here I am, just like this guy, like, I'm in my garage right now and I set up like this studio, and it's like, here I am recording these videos and trying to help people and I'm like changing people's lives. And it's like,
yeah.
I'm doing good.
And going back to your other question about, like why people, if they're not passionate about it, well, it kind of goes hand in hand here because at least speaking from my side of things, working on the instructional side of things is definitely not for the money.
Right. And there's not a lot of money involved with me quitting my job and going full-time on YouTube, but I'm making it happen,
You are. That's awesome.
There's more involved where I had to be at home with my 7-month-old little boy, and I do photography also. So I mean, I'm making things work. I'm making things work.
Well, congratulations, Zach.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot going on here for sure, but super excited about it.
Well, I'm wishing you the best, much success and prosperity and health for your family and those little ones.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. You also. I really appreciate you being on. Did you have any more questions for me or anything? Or was that's the only one you got for me?
Yeah, I think that's it. I am borrowing Don's office, so I think I'm going to have to eventually give it up. And I can't stay in here and play with his Legos and Rubik's Cubes all day and drink all of his scotch. I think he's got on the shelf over there. But we won't talk about that.
Yeah. Does this Vigo poster or Vigo mural scare you?
No, I like it.
I was talking about that in my live stream today, and everybody's like, "Oh, that's so cool." I was like, "Yeah, that's the coolest thing I think I've ever seen."
So I'm an 80s child, like, so yeah.
God. Okay, yeah, see, me too. I think I watched Ghostbusters every single day when I was a kid. My mom was like, "You need to stop watching Ghostbusters." I was like, "You don't understand, Mom. This is cool. This is like the stuff right here." So yeah. I was totally like geeking out when I went into his office.
Yeah, he's got a cool office.
It's like nerd haven right there.
Yeah, my desk, not so much.
Yeah, well, you just need to accumulate more crap like him. Thank you, Brad. You're awesome.
Brad is awesome.
I'll have to give him a shout out. Give him a good shout out.